Hello everybody and namaste. Welcome to the fourth chapter of Arduino with Sudip. Today we are going to learn about Arduino codes, how to write them, how to execute them in Tinkercad, and let's get started. So we have this configuration from the last chapter. Let's just do something. Let's just go ahead, go back to Tinkercad, and we'll just create another circuit. Okay, here we are. We just need a breadboard. It's misbehaving. Okay, we'll just get the breadboard over here. We'll rotate it just like we did the last time. And let's have the Arduino Uno over here. Let's rotate it just like the last time. Now let's connect one LED so that we can program the Arduino to blink the LED. Okay, just like we did some time ago. So now this is going to short the circuit because it has both legs and the same row which are connected. So we'll just twist it a bit like this, and we'll have the resistor that is attached to, this is the 1 kilo ohm resistor attached to the anode or the positive end of the LED, and we'll take this to, okay, let's take it to 13. Let's do that once again. Let's take it to pin number D13, and this goes to ground, as it is very normal. Now let's start the simulation, and we see nothing's going to happen. Oh well, it did happen. Why? Let's go check our code. Okay, so this is the code that is running. So it says set built-in LED to high. Built-in LED means pin number 13 in Arduino. So because of this default setting, if you can just zoom in, look at this. This is a built-in LED in the Arduino, so it's pin number 13 and a built-in LED as well. Okay, let's stop the simulation for now. Let's just get rid of this code, all of them. Okay, so what we're going to do is, instead, you can see this thing called blocks. We'll just change the mode to text. Okay, so let's continue. So this is our C++ code. Let's just delete it. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, it says connections lost. Looks like my electricity is gone. Change is saved on reconnect. Okay, we don't need to save it. So what we'll just do is we'll just go ahead and write the code. So first thing is, let's talk about the skeleton of the Arduino code. So this is something that you will always need, that is void setup, parenthesis, and a curly bracket, open it and then close it. And then we go down to void loop, parenthesis, open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Okay, so this is the skeleton of an Arduino. So whatever you want to run in the start of the Arduino board, when you start the Arduino board, when you power it up, you put it inside the void setup over here. Okay, over here. So what about this one? The loop is where it continues over and over and over again until we stop the Arduino, that is, we plug it off. Okay, so this is the loop. Now just look at what I'm doing over here. So these, if you add these backslash, or are they front slash? I don't know. So if you add these slashes, then what happens is whatever you write over here is not executed by the compiler. So whatever you've written over here after this, it's all comments. So if you need to remember something, say for example you have a big line of code and you have divided it in chunks, and then you need to remember the code after a while, what do? You just go over here. Okay, we'll just write a comment. So this is I'll just write this will run for one single time. Okay, And then here, let's do this will execute forever. Okay, so now what do we do in void loop? Now we need to consider what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish right now. So we're trying to blink this LED over here. Now, as you know, this LED is connected to pin number 13. Okay, so we need to tell the Arduino that there is something connected to 13. It will not recognize whether it's an LED or it's a buzzer or it's any other output device. We just need to tell it that we need to blink this thing, whatever it is, connected to pin number 13. And how do we do that? First, we need to define that this pin number 13 is output. So these are all output pins and these are input pins, but then the Arduino will just not activate any one of those until you tell it to. So inside void setup, what we're going to do is we're going to use this function, this neat function called pin mode. And what are we going to specify over here is D13, as is the case with our connection. So D13, and we are going to declare that as the output. So now this gets you started. So pin mode 13, D13 output. This means that whatever is connected to D13 is an output from now on, okay? Until you switch this Arduino board off. Okay, now what about switching it on, switching the LED on? So this doesn't switch on the LED, okay? This just declares it's an output. But we need to switch it on. So, oh, sorry, I was missing one curly bracket, okay? Okay, so void loop. So what do you do inside void loop? So you are going to just write pin number 13 as high, okay? So it means we're going to switch pin number 13 as on. So how do we do that? We just write digital. So these are all functions. We'll talk about functions later on. Digital write D13, and we don't do on. What we do instead in Arduino is we do high. So high means on and low means off. Okay, let's just write a comment here. Let's just say this will turn D13 on. Okay, just so that we remember it later. Now let's switch it off. It's the same process. How do you do that? Let's write the comment. This will turn D13 off. Okay, what will turn it off? So it's again digital write, and we have D13, pin number D13, and that is set to low. Not off, but low. So low means off, high means on. Now what happens if we do that? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just start the simulation and check what goes on in the Arduino, if this light, the LED, blinks or not. Okay, initializing. What does it say? Sorry, it seems like your code has some errors. Okay, so let's read what the errors are, okay? So when you see something like this, you might get a little worried. Don't panic. Just look at what it's saying. In function, void setup. So there's an error. D13 was not declared in this scope. Okay, so there's this thing with the Arduino. What it does is, in the Arduino IDE, you can specify it as D13, but in Tinkercad, somehow this is not allowed. Okay, so we'll just remove D. Instead of that, it'll just be pin number 13. Now let's check once more, and well, looks like it's fine, it's working. Now the simulator is on, and let's look at this LED. It's supposed to blink, isn't it? But it's not blinking. Now can you tell me why? If you know why, then please, where to write it down in the comments section. Okay, I'm not too good at this. So let's move on. Why is it not blinking? If you look at this void loop, what does it do is it switches this on and switches it off so fast that in the blink of an eye, it's switching on and off and on and off, and we cannot actually see it. So what do we do? Instead of that, for us humans to be able to actually see what's going on, we'll just stop the simulation first. We'll do what? We'll delay it, okay? So delay it to 1 second. So how do we write 1 second? Not like this. We write 1000. Delay 1000. Now what does this 1000 mean? 1000 is 1000 milliseconds. You see what I did over here? I just wrote a comment so that I remember it later on. Now let's start the simulation once again. And let's see. Okay, so it's switched on. Where is it? It's not switching off again. Why? Because it's so fast. It switches it off, but it comes back again. So we are in a loop. Once it switches it off, there's no delay. So we need to add a delay. Let's stop the simulation and let's do that again. Delay 1000. Oh. So that should be another 1000 milliseconds, or which also means just 1000 milliseconds. 1 second. Okay. My computer is acting very slow and weird today. So we'll just start the code, and voila, we have LED on and off, So that is blink LED. Okay, let's stop the simulation. So this is how you write a code to blink an LED. Now you know that. Next class, next chapter, what we are going to do is we're going to blink multiple LEDs again, but with the help of an Arduino code. I hope you just enjoyed this chapter. Should I say enjoy? Okay, you probably learned a lot from this chapter. See you in the next one.